with Janice Cobb of Save My Pet ID Tag. Engraved with your pet's info, they allow emergency personnel to start care for your pets if you're sick or injured. Head over to SaveMyPetIDTag.com and explore products. They ensure peace of mind for you and for your four-legged family.
For more than 2 decades, our special guest, they've been making the lives of dogs, cats, parakeets, hamsters, and many other types of pets very healthy, very happy. Can I get a bow wow? Come on. This husband-wife team, they operate a great place. It's called Odyssey Pets, and it's right in the heart of Dallas, Texas. And they do so much more in their community for pet professionals, for pet parents, and for pets. So, at this time, join me in giving pause and applause to Sherry Redwine and Mike Doan. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us on the show.
Hey, Pet Pals, I first met Sherry. She reached out to me because when I'm not behind the microphone, I teach Pet First Aid for You, a veterinary approved course. And she wanted me to come and do a little mini class, if you will, for some of her loyal customers inside the Odyssey Pets. And so I came with pet safety dog Kona and pet safety cat Casey. And this was our first meetup. So Sherry, be kind. What did you think when you saw this chick coming out of a RAV4 with a terrier mix and an orange tabby?
Honestly, I had no idea it was going to be so much fun. You are a breath of fresh air, and Kona and Casey are a couple of the most amazing pet safety animals I've ever seen.
Well, everybody, picture this. We walk into the Odyssey Pets, and I was trying to do my math and my homework. You guys have almost 11,000 square feet. Is that right, Mike?
10,000.
Yeah, nine and a half, 10.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, still like a football field.
It's a lot.
Bigger. Yeah. And it's like a candy land. I mean, it's a fantasy land for pets. I had to basically check under Kona and Casey's collars before we left to make sure they didn't do any shoplifting or anything. I noticed that my dog was like sniffing the aisles, like, oh, I'm in heaven. Is this heaven on earth? And Casey's like, oh, yes, they use very high quality organic catnip. I can tell that. So I think you got a good vibe, but I want to do a little backwards motion and say how you got there, because this has been over 20 years in the making. And I guess there's a couple other people you want to make sure that you better say kudos to. So Sherry, talk about your mom and dad, Bill and Joanne, and how you, your parents, and Mike came to create Odyssey Pets.
Okay, I'm going to try to sum it up as quickly as I can, I guess. But I needed a job right out of high school. I got a job at a large aquarium store that sells tropical fish and aquariums. So I get the job there, and I know nothing about fish, although I did grow up with aquariums, and I thought they were pretty cool. And I met this guy here, my future husband. And then while I was in college, I was going for business and marketing and had to write a bunch of business plans. And we wrote some business plans for pet stores because Mike actually used to have a pet store before we met.
Well, hang on, let me interject. So Mike, with your very good radio voice, what was the name of your pet store?
So a little bit before things really got onto the internet, I had come up with this brilliant internet name.
Uh-oh.
It was 1998, and I opened a store called Urban Animals. I was going to call it Urbanimals, and I was just going to combine the two and make it a thing. It was basically a similar concept to what we do now, which is just really highly curated foods and quality products, and without having to sell small animals like rabbits and hamsters and reptiles. I focused primarily on on fish, tropical fish, and grooming and dog supplies and cat supplies with a good selection of bird, reptile, and small animal supplies.
So this was a love story in the making with fins and feathers and fur, right?
That's it. Yeah. I mean, my original love was always birds. I've had birds my whole life. And,
Wow.
and I've evolved as a pet owner to now where I'm actually uncomfortable seeing birds in cages. So I have evolved dramatically over the years from when I was a kid working in pet stores and basically wanting to own and owning almost everything to now I feel pretty much content to partner with dogs and cats and to befriend the birds outside.
I like
He's
that.
almost every aspect of the pet industry, from
I see
wholesaling, retailing, building aquariums, all kinds
Yeah,
of.
and now basically I curate aquariums in private homes and businesses, and we sell tropical fish. That's the livestock side.
I like that. Yeah.
And the rest.
Well, I want to just finish how Sherry came to go from a marketing major.
yeah.
And then how did you rope your parents into starting
Yes.
a...
We roped them into it. Yeah. So when I left the house, they replaced me with showing Havanese. It's a hypoallergenic breed from Cuba. It's a little dog that kind of looks like a Shih Tzu, but with a nose.
Yeah.
And so they were showing Havanese, doing the dog show circuit, and very involved. I've always been passionate dog owners. And so we all four decided to open a pet store.
I love it. And how did you come up with the name Odyssey Pets?
He dreamt of it.
Yeah,
You
it was,
did.
yeah. Before I ever came up with Urban Animals, I had the idea that the concept of Odyssey Pets basically being that pets are an adventure, the ultimate adventure that take you
I like that. Yeah.
on side tracks, and you get lost in places, and then you ultimately have to do everything in the Iliad. Basically, has come to pass with this adventure, and so that's why Odyssey has been just such a good moniker for me and my relationship with animals and pretty much everything. And
I
I'm
love
pretty
it.
sure parents were trying to call my bluff.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I don't think they thought we would succeed. I really don't. They were like, prepared to call
How many
the
years
bluff.
have you been succeeding now?
20 years.
Well, we opened Odyssey in 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations. So you are getting close to your 20th anniversary. No,
Yeah.
no, man, right? Is that
19,
right?
Yes.
19 this year.
19
Yeah, but
this
you're
year.
almost there.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I think this is kind of fun, Pet Pals. We're talking to Sherry Redwine and her husband, Mike Doan, and it's been love at first fur. I mean, you guys met each other, but you share a same business mind, I guess, and business vision. You can always have disagreements. That's couples. That's fine. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like you're doggone lucky to have met each other? Who wants to step up first?
Yeah. No, I'm the luckiest man alive. No question about it.
Thank you.
And the fact that we're able to do what we do together without after
Like
20
fight
yeah, I
like
mean,
cats and dogs?
I will literally tell you, it has been something I would have never been able to predict. And yeah, so we really do. We vibe very well.
Well, Odyssey Pets wouldn't be here if we had never met. And we've been helping people holistically improve the lives of pets since 2006. And we're proud of that.
I can see that. And there's a big word that she just dropped on all of us. Did you all hear it? Did the beagle in you hear it? And that was holistic, because we're going to dive in a little bit more, and we're going to take a break in a minute. But there's quality and then there's crap in the pet world. Come on. And I'm not
my
talking about
God.
the one you pick up afterwards. So you guys from the get-go have been geared on quality and integrative medicine, holistic. So it's like you just don't stock the shelves. Is that right, Sherry?
Right. We do a lot of research before we bring anything into our product mix. No corn, no gluten, no byproduct. We research the companies to make sure how many recalls have they had? How did they handle the
nice.
recalls? Where is the food made? Where is it sourced? All of these things matter when it comes to the nutrition for our pets.
All right. Hey,
Yeah.
We're speaking with Sherry Redwine. I'm getting very thirsty. We're speaking with Sherry Redwine and Mike Doan. They are a husband and wife team. They are the co-owners of Odyssey Pets. It's in Dallas. And we're going to find out some of the things that they're doing in the Pet Odyssey universe after we take this break. So you know the drill. Come on, Pet Pals. Sit, stay. We'll be right back.
Hey, have you heard? Four-Legged Life has a new digital newsletter. Here, let me show you how you get yourself subscribed. So you just type in Four-Legged Life and that'll take you to the website. There we go. And this magic thing just appears, and you type in your email address. I'll use, let's see, how about coolestdogever@gmail.com. That's me. And then you just click on this thing here. There you go. It's the new digital newsletter from Four Legged Life. Get subscribed today.
Hey, Pet Pals, welcome back to the Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I've been chatting with a cool couple. They are Sherry Redwine and Mike Doan, and they are Odyssey Pets. It's this big store in Dallas. I live in Dallas. I've had a chance to interact with them and teach a pet first aid class with them and want to take everything off the shelves and put it in my SUV because they had really good stuff. But beyond the brick and mortar, and this is why they're also on. This is a couple that likes to reach out and help other groups. So being owners of a big store like Odyssey Pets, I'll start with you, Sherry. What's some things that you all have done to give back to your community?
Sure. Well, first of all, I like to educate my customer base about pet nutrition. I'm very passionate about nutrition and holistic ways to help pets out. A lot of people come to us first before they even go to the vet's office.
Wow.
And so we have to determine, okay, is this something that we can help them with, or do they need to go to the vet's office?
Can you give me an example, maybe? Because maybe somebody came in, something.
Oh, if a dog is
Itchy
having
skin
loose
or something. Or loose stools. Oh, please, give me loose stools for $200. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Instead of rushing to the vet, we have freeze-dried pumpkin, which for me works even better than canned pumpkin.
Wow.
But it helps with diarrhea or constipation. It's something that I keep in my pantry all the time because sometimes dogs get into things or it could be a stressful situation. I mean, loose stool can happen for multiple reasons, but it's not a reason to rush to the vet on the first day. If it's gone on for several days and your pumpkin hasn't worked, then you want to go to the vet.
What about you, Mike? You got a good one you can tell? Because you're a very scholarly man, and I love your voice. Move over, James Earl Jones. Man, you got a good voice.
Thank you. No, Sherry nailed it. The other things that we do, I would say, is we give a good format for rescue. We give a good format for shot clinics. We promote as many methods as we can incorporate into just a healthy lifestyle for a pet and a pet family, and also being willing to accept that not every parameter is going to be met every time. And
when I walked in, if I may interject, when I walked in to teach the class, there was a Chihuahua rescue group. So, Mike, you're a real men love Chihuahuas, right?
Absolutely. One of my favorite all-time breeds and highly underrated.
I love that I saw that Odyssey Pets was putting some floor space for people with a nonprofit Chihuahua rescue group to try to get them adopted.
Yeah, and we do cats. It depends on kind of seasonally and what needs to be rehomed. And we really just try to provide that community network. So when people are exploring opportunities, looking for a new animal or trying to make a good choice, we're there to be guides in that space as well and really help people make good choices about the animals they're going to keep and how they're going to keep them.
We also work with another rescue called Recycled Pomeranians and Skipperkeys. They're a really cool group. They're very creative with how they raise money. They will come to my store and set up like a beautiful photo booth. Like they do Santa pictures. We've done summer pictures. We've done kissing booth for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And so they charge money for these pictures, which are high quality, beautiful backdrops. And that's how they raise money. So we provide the space for them to do that. And of course, I partake as well because I was
dying to ask you. I know your husband aside, who's a better kisser, a Pomeranian or a Skipperkey?
Oh, Pomeranian.
Pomeranian. I grew up with Pomeranians.
Why?
Zero logic to that.
And partial to Poms. I grew up with two of them.
Okay. Well, I like that you do that, but let's now broaden your scope. When we're speaking to the Pet Product News, which is a major industry publication in pets, they named Odyssey Pets the retailer of the year 2020, 2021. Great time, COVID. Yeah, that's a tough one to get. But
It was tough.
I'm assuming you did not get a new car from Oprah. But Sherry, what was that award all about, and why is that a big deal?
That's probably the biggest award for a pet store in the industry in the U.S. and Canada.
Wow.
It was a goal of mine since we started the store, and yeah, we finally got it. But they recognize a store for the product mix, the community work, how it looks, how do you train your employees. It was a series of essay questions I had to answer.
Wow. And you passed. So both of you, because, the word pet store has evolved.
Yes, it has.
So, Michael, what is, to you, what makes Odyssey Pets a quality pet store in the 21st century?
I would say it's ethics.
Okay,
ethics
good.
above all things. We're learning all the time more and more about the depth of animals' ability to feel and perceive and understand things, to the point where, I don't know how far you want to go down the rabbit hole, but we know, you probably know, as I've seen your connection with your animals, that there's something more there.
They're sentient beings.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in the field where I'm over trying to prove it, and I'm now trying to understand it and help us all kind of move into that next level where people are really beginning to communicate with other species the way they're really trying to communicate with us. And I think that whole thing is an untapped resource in our field.
Yeah.
Working with animals, you must know as well that they're talking, and it's a sensitivity thing. And if you're not sensitive to it, or if you simply don't believe it, then it simply won't work. But
the coffee mug that says bark less, listen more, or whatever it's called, that's true. I have conversations with Kona, my safety dog, and Casey, my cat, and we have a conversation, which means it's two-way. So I'm curious, Sherry, because it's tough to keep a brick and mortar store going, but any tips you can give people on what makes your guys a success? I know you said quality and you're doing that, but there's a lot of things that can happen in the industry. What's a couple tips you can give people to get off on the right paw and stay that way?
What the secret sauce was for me, a turning point in our journey, is I joined a pet business coaching group.
Oh, okay,
and
good. Yeah.
it really helped me with some business tips, and it was specific to the pet industry. So what's the markup on bully sticks and stuff like that? Like, what's the going rate?
Yes.
But more importantly, it was a community of other business owners, and we could all bounce ideas off of each other and help each other. You're more successful when you put two minds together, and when you put multiple minds together, then you can aim for the stars.
I like that. I also wanted to not be remiss. You have a podcast or two. Do you care to name that so people can follow you?
So the first podcast, it's been around for about a year and a half, and it's called The Pet Shop Girls. I host that with my co-host Carly Patroluk of House of Paws Boutique, and she is in Regina, Saskatchewan. We actually
Now, you just said a mouthful. Holy mutt.
We met through that pet business coaching group because, a Canadian and a Texan got together and made a podcast.
Nice.
But we give pet business advice to other pet store owners.
I like that.
Then in the fall, we launched Tip the Dish podcast, and that is a holistic pet care podcast for pet parents. So we're very excited about that one. We talk about nutrition, obviously, but also we deep dive onto heavy metals and toxins, how to read a pet food label, what's up with prescription pet food. We cover all kinds of topics.
Well, the time goes by really fast, but in 30 seconds or less, each of you, start with Mike. Mike, how have pets made you a better person?
Oh, they've opened me up to a much bigger world than I would have ever been in without them. So it's just a continuous unfolding and opening.
I like it. And how about you, Sherry?
For me, I feel like pets show me a part of myself that I didn't even know was there. They teach me how to be compassionate. They also don't care if I had a bad day. They're always happy to see me, and they make me feel so much better inside. And I just want to help people take care of their pets in the best way possible.
Well, I have been delighted and honored to have both of you on. We're speaking from Odyssey Pets, the co-owners, Sherry Redwine and Michael Doan. They're leaving their paw prints and so many other good ways in the pet industry.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.